Have you ever felt the car sliding a bit when you press the brake pedal and the roads are a little bit wet? I got that when I was trying a lot of EVs, and first I thought it was a problem of that EV that I was trying out, but most of them did react that way when I was testing them. So I did dig out a little bit of information, and I found out that there is a reason why EVs tend to slide a bit more than ICE cars. So today we are going to talk about some things that are a little bit different in EVs in terms of comparing them with ICE cars, mainly now that we are entering in wet days, so rainy days and the winter time. So today the video, it's all about driving an EV in the winter. So welcome back to the channel. My name is Ugo and this is the Xpeng G6 diary. So why do we have this problem with EVs sliding a little bit more than ICE cars? Well, mainly because the weight of an EV car is much higher than an ICE car due to the batteries, and because manufacturers, due to that situation, do tend to put tires in these cars that have less traction than usually you have on ICE cars. Why is that? Efficiency. So if you have a lot of traction together with the weight of the car, your car will not be efficient, so you will have to consume much more energy to make the car move. That's why they decide to put some EV tires that have this in consideration, meaning that it has less traction. And this is why your car tends to slide a little bit more than when you are using an ICE car. There is nothing that you can do on these unless, of course, changing the tires. But if you have the tires that you have, and if you want to use them, you just need to take these in consideration when you are using your car. Let's talk now about another thing that usually we have to face during winter time. That is aquaplaning. Aquaplaning is not more than a lot of water that is accumulated in the roads. The water accumulates between the tire and the road, and you get the feeling that the car is floating on top of the water. This can be very dangerous because most of the people do not know how to handle an aquaplaning situation. So to make it very short, the best way to tackle these situations is just not braking, not accelerating, but just handling your wheel straight position until the car gets the grip again. So why is this different between an EV and an ICE car? Well, it's very simple, because of regeneration. In an EV, you are accelerating, and when you release the foot from the accelerator, the car will start braking because it will enter in the regeneration phase. But as I said, on aquaplaning situations, you should not accelerate, and if you brake, it should be made very, very, very smoothly. So how can you control that if you release your feet from the accelerator and the car immediately will start braking, and this is not good. So my suggestion in these situations, if it is raining, if you are going to drive in a highway that has the tendency to create these aqua pools, let's call it like that, then my suggestion is reduce the regeneration to the minimum or even disable it. This way, when you release the feet from the accelerator, the car will just slide as if it was an ICE car. Or if it is on low regeneration, it will brake, but it will be much smoother and much easier to control the car. So again, rainy days, highway, if there is the tendency to have this aquaplaning situation, reduce the regeneration to the minimum or disable it completely so that it's safer and easier to control the car in those situations. Another thing that I do when I drive in rainy days or in the winter with icy roads is reducing the power of the car. And why is that? Well, it's not because of safety, because I don't think that you may enter in some dangerous situation because of the power that you have in the car, but because the tendency to have the car sliding a little bit more because of the power of the car, it's higher, because if you have a road that is icy or has a lot of water, if you have the full power available in the accelerator, if you start driving, you will feel that the car sometimes slide a little bit before getting the traction needed to drive. So this is not a safety topic, it's more to save your tires from waste. Finally, a couple of more tips and tricks that I use on winter days with my EV. So I do clean up my cameras and sensors of the car at least once per week, and mainly because the car will get water, but this is not clean water. You know that the water that is coming from the rain has a lot of dust, and usually that dust will go and stay in the cameras, in the sensors, and this will reduce the quality of the images that are gathered from the car and may reduce the quality of the self-assist and alerts and all these systems that the car has to help you drive in this type of weather. So let me give you a couple of more tips and tricks that I use during winter days to have my drive a little bit more comfortable, to have more quality driving, and also for security, safety, and even maintenance of the car. So the first thing is using AC and the heat pump a little bit better. So if you are going to use your car every day at 7:30 in the morning, you can pre-program your car to start AC and to start defrosting your car to make it comfortable, ready for the winter, defrost the windshields, all that, before even you enter in the car. So you should take the opportunity and use the technology available in your car to make the drive not only more comfortable, but also more safe. If you have heated seats and also heated wheel drive, you can use them, and you should use them to make your drive more comfortable and also warm up your car much faster. So finally, as my last tip and trick, let me talk about battery management. You know that you can precondition your battery every time that you go to charge your car, but you can also precondition your battery before you even start your ride. And why is this important? Well, the car needs to have the battery at its full power, at its best condition possible, so that it can use regeneration, it can provide the power needed for your drive, everything. So if you have the battery at the right temperature when you start your ride, you will have a safer and best drive. So if you have this type of situation and you can do this in your car, for instance on the Xpeng, you can come to the settings, charging and discharging, and you have here a low temperature battery preheating option. In here, as you can see, you can define a time of the day where you want the battery to be preconditioned. So this is the time of day, 7:30, that I'm telling the car, precondition the battery so that at 7:30 I have the car ready to go in the right battery temperature. So the second topic related to the battery is, of course, charging the battery at the current temperature. This is important, especially in winter days, because if you arrive to a charging station without preconditioning your battery, the charging time may be influenced by that. So it is important to arrive to a charging station with the battery at the right temperature. To do that, you have two ways. First, if you plan a trip to a charging station, then the car will automatically precondition and preheat the battery to the right temperature before arriving to the charging station. But if for some reason you didn't plan a trip with the charging station and you decide to do this charging session, you can come here again to the charging and discharging menu, and you can come here down and you will see here temperature control before fast charging. So it's activated, so the car does that automatically. But again, if you forgot, you have here a button that you can press and the car will immediately start preconditioning the battery for fast charging. So doing this will manage the battery more efficiently and also preserve a little bit more the battery. And you know how important it is to have a good battery in your car. So guys, this is it. I do believe that some of these tips and tricks can help you have a better winter with your EV. And I do hope that these or some of them can help you with that. And if you have any other ideas, suggestion of driving an EV in the winter, leave it in the comments, because I didn't search about this. I did this based on my feeling and my experience with EVs. So I do believe that some of you that have a lot of years already with an EV can help the community to reach a better winter with a lot of safety, especially safety to all of us. So do comment in the comment section if you have any suggestion, remark, or any other idea to make the EV life on the winter more easy, safer, and comfortable. So thank you guys very much again for being here. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Do leave your like, do share the video with your friends and family, and if you consider that this information is useful for you guys, there are ways to donate and support the channel. Thank you very much again for being here with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.